You ready, babe?
Ready. Drop me off at Terminal C, okay?
Yep. Well, I was the one that told you that. Remember?
Oh yeah. You're so smart.
Guess we got some rain last night.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing it. How's the temperature, babe?
Good.
Yeah, they've got Terminal B from the outside. I don't know what it's going to be like on the inside. So it said you're still departing from Terminal B, but on the outside, I mean, you'll see it when we go by it. I went out there to drive around and do some testing. Maybe about a little less than a week ago. Terminal B on the outside is just obliterated.
Demolished.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say demolished, but it's like, to say it's getting a facelift would be an understatement. It's literally got cranes where the ramp used to be. So I was wondering about that. Like when I saw on your flight that it was flying out of Terminal B, I was like, how? But that's probably all that construction I saw was just all on the outside and maybe not on the inside. I'll be curious once you get, because I guess it said on there that all Terminal A, C, and I believe Terminal B, C, and I think they even said E had to be dropped off at Terminal C temporarily. But I'm assuming that once you get into Terminal C, they're going to tell you need to take the tram over to Terminal B. I mean, you can walk over there. It's probably not that far.
I did last time.
Pretty far.
Not far, but it's like...
I forget how. It's not far, but it's like with luggage and everything, it's probably better taking the tram. But I'll be curious when you get to Terminal B this morning, get to your gate, what it looks like from the inside.
Well, it's supposed to be packed, so I have a chance of checking in my luggage, which I might do.
I was kind of wondering whether it was going to take us down North Park or Kingwood Drive. It was flipping back and forth this morning when I was looking at navigation. Something tells me it's one of those 6 out of 12, half a dozen of the other type of thing. Whether you take North Park or Kingwood Drive, they're both going to be pretty bad on a Monday morning. Today's the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's what?
It's Zoe's birthday.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, but I was going to say, I think it's, the police got him, somebody. I think it's tomorrow they start the closing of the North Park Railroad intersection. Either tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, today is Zoe's birthday.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow's my dad's.
Yep. And then the 6th. What day is the 6th? That's Thursday? Or no, yeah. That's my mom's. And then Wyatt's is later this month.
Mm-hmm.
Who else do we have that's a March? Sayla's is March. When is Sayla's?
The 25th of Wyatt's the 26th.
So she'll be 1.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. And yeah, Wyatt's the 26th. A lot of March birthdays.
Yep.
You know, they made a... Oh, go ahead, babe. You're busy.
No, go ahead.
They made a ton of progress here on North Park. And then it just seems like here in the last couple of months... I mean, well, they're out there working. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, it seems like they came to a standstill. But, yeah, you can see there's a tunnel about to lay the foundation over there. Seemed like they had come to a standstill.
Well, they gotta lay rebar first.
Yeah. Well, the rebar is part of the foundation.
Yeah.
Make sure we don't block the... Oh, he's getting across the street. Something about to happen? Or is he just going to the other side?
He's going to the other side.
Going to the other side. It will definitely be interesting to see what North Park looks like when they're done with all this. Much wider.
I know. It's supposed to be wider.
Whoa. Lord have mercy.
She's
Great
like,
job, FSD. That's pretty good, huh, babe?
yeah.
That guy. That's the kind of stuff right there.
He could have gone behind you. What?
Of course he could have gone behind me, but he that's not human emotion, babe. You didn't factor in human emotion, that I need to be there a half a second sooner.
I suppose.
And it's worth it. Even if I get rear-ended and I have to stand here and exchange insurance information with somebody and not have my car for a week, it's worth it for that half second.
I suppose.
That's the human calculus that goes on inside people's emotional monkey brains.
Makes
Sorry,
sense.
that's probably a lot longer answer than you wanted.
Probably.
But you got to see Tesla FSD do its thing right there, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's getting to the point that I don't even like...
Think about it.
Yeah.
Well, you remember when we were going through Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
And I did that video through Dallas,
No,
and
because I knocked out.
you knocked out. Exactly. Well, that's a good point. Looks like we got a lot of traffic on 59, but of course that's to be expected at 7:40 a.m. on a Monday morning. Wow, gas is actually getting pretty cheap. $2.49. Still a lot more expensive than mine, but that was a joke. But thank you, babe. Thank you for that obligatory.
You're welcome.
So gonna be a busy few days for you. Let's merge in here.
gotta call the bank later.
You got to call the bank. Oh, is that lightning? Or was that just one of the lights that flickered? The bank for the boba shop or the bank for
my personal? There's
personal?
a transaction that's like, I don't know what that transaction is, but it's still pending, so we gotta see what the final is before we make a complaint.
Yep. On your debit card?
Yeah.
Yeah, it usually doesn't take them too long to get it from pending to cleared. And then, yeah, you can dispute it or at least look at what it is. So it's not showing any information on it yet? I know. That's the thing about these, some of these larger work trucks and straight trucks, is they get so much, they don't get them cleaned out fully. I get it, it's tough. But, you know, they're supposed to do that every night. I know, because I used to work on one way back in the day during college. You're supposed to have it fully swept out, cleaned out. Oh my gosh. My Lord have mercy. That VW just did not care, did they? I'm telling you, that VW is going to lose in a battle with that work truck. Clayton. Probably have a little bit of congestion here getting on Will Clayton. This first part of Will Clayton always gets a little backed up in the morning. That's pretty smooth. I was confident the whole time, baby.
I'm sure you were. It looked like it was coming in sharp.
Nope. It's got it all fingered out, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of things. It's, you've seen it a few when I brought you here. The lane, so I'm curious to see at that, not this traffic light, but that last traffic light before you head into the actual airport grounds. Mm-hmm. It always gets over to it stays in the left lane literally till the last minute. And it's always gotten itself out of the pickle. And it's not a pickle, I mean, and at the end of the day, you can be over here, but this lane, you have to go take a left at that light. And so it needs to be in the middle lane. It'll just be interesting. It always waits till the very last moment. And And you tell it knows it needs to go straight, but it does not know yet. I guess that's memory or whatever that it does. Oh, there we go. Is it getting over to, well, let's see if you stay in the middle.
Maybe I heard you bitching.
You gonna stay here? Let's stay here. No, it's not. It's gonna get over so it was letting faster traffic pass through. So it was sensing that there were cars behind us that wanted to go even faster than we were. But now it's gonna have a heck of a time. It'll get back over there. But see, we're in this left, and it doesn't realize yet that this is going to turn into a left turn only. Now, it doesn't say it right here. You don't know until you get up here. But let me give them a wave. It made it see. It knows how to get its way in. And I'm on hurry mode, so it'll force the. But why wait? Well, the thing is humans come into the airport for the first time.
You always do it on hurry mode, right? Next time when you come pick me up, put it on normal and see what it does.
Okay. That's true. That's a good. But I just don't know if it's that, though. Because there's no sign saying that this lane's going to turn left until you get, like, that's it. That's the sign. Right? There's no lanes back there saying this is going to be a left turn only lane soon. Terminal B closed. Use Terminal C. Look at that, babe.
Could have made it.
No.
It would have been legal.
It would, but it wouldn't have, it would have been ill-advised this time of morning. Terminal B, use Terminal C. So it did a good job there, merging back in, but it didn't need to do that. Although, when you just look at it strictly from, like, what's it allowed to do, there's no law that says you can't come down that left
but
one.
you're also talking about, you put it in hurry mode. You have three.
No, babe, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, like, not knowing that that's going to turn into, like, people that come to the airport a lot know that. But somebody that doesn't come to the airport doesn't realize that's going to turn into a left turn only until you get right up at it. Right? Because there's no signs ahead of time telling you that.
Yes. The gift that Texas gives you. Last minute
Lane changes.
notifications.
Then the last thing we want to see is lane selection when we get by terminals C, D, and E. That it gets into the proper lane for Terminal C departure ramp.
Did you name it yet?
Nope.
So we'll call it it?
Nope. Let me get. So make sure, stay over here. Stay over here. There you go. Now you can get back over. There you go. Needs to get over another one. So far it's doing really good with lane selection. So we are in the exact right lane, but then it's got to be able to take the ramp as well. So great job so far. We didn't go that way. So you got three decisions here, right? Terminal E, Terminal D, and you got to go stay this way for Terminal C. So far so good. Now let's see how we do. Stay over here. All right, I'm gonna get ready. It's in the correct lane, but don't veer right. Stay left. And awesome. Great job.
Is that the first time I did it?
No.
Should we give it a cookie?
Let's see, get up here. You want to keep going up or you want to get out here?
Of course.
Okay. Just wait then. Oh. I was going to try to get around them if we don't get out here. All right, maybe not. Hopefully that, let's see. But I guess you can drop off at all of these lanes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I think he's about to head out anyway.
What you gonna do, Tessie? That's my name for her, Tessie. Bro, you could have just moved up, bro. Bro. He's staying there.
I know. I'm pointing at him that he's like, yeah, I'm watching out for his. All right. We're coming. We're going. It's going. It's going. It's trying not to run over you or him.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. I think yeah, there it's moving up on its own.
Okay, to the right.
Yeah. I'm going to have to. All right, did a great job there. So we got all the way up to Terminal C, departure ramp, and we even got into the main part of the drop-off area. But I did need to, just to get finagle all the way over, had to do those last 5 feet manual, but that's not a big deal. I mean, not at all. And again, you see where sometimes like the guy in the truck had his door like literally wide open. Like if we just barrel ass through there, it would take his door off. And then the police officer's telling you to continue going forward, and it's like, that's why sometimes I just roll the window down and say, hey, it's trying not to take him and his door out or take you out. He's like, thank you. So, all good. Well, we made it through there. See how the traffic looks going back. Should be a lot better going back to the house and coming here, as obviously we had morning rush hour traffic to get to the airport. I was actually sort of surprised that the traffic at Terminal C wasn't worse than it was. It did phenomenal getting up to the Terminal C departure ramp. I was really impressed with that. Quite frankly, that was the only thing about this drive that I was curious about, that I wasn't for sure on. Because as you can see, or as y'all saw, when we were coming into this side of the airport, Terminal C, D, and E, first of all, it's just tore up. Right? And if any of y'all saw my video from a little less than a week ago where I did the airport gauntlet, you saw Terminal B literally just doesn't exist anymore on the outside. It's I mean, there's more cranes at Terminal B than there are gates now. And then I guess E is kind of in the same, because they're saying everybody go to Terminal C. Terminal D seems to be still pretty good. But when you're coming in there, when you're coming into that side of the airport, you've got a decision to make. There's a fork in the road with 3 different lanes. And if you make the wrong decision, you're stuck. You're going back around the airport. So when you got to get either all the way over to the left for Terminal E arrivals. And I believe, yes, I think Terminal E, you got to get dropped off at Terminal C as well. I could be wrong on that, but I know Terminal B and C are at the same place. But anyway, when you come in there, you've got the first fork in the road. Left is Terminal E. Right is Terminal D. And if you go left or right, if you stay too far to the left or too far to the right and you don't stay in that middle lane, you're going back around the airport again. So it's critical that it made that correct decision. And it had to make some lane changes. You saw that when you first come into that side of the airport. The lane you're on, if you just stayed in that lane, you're going to get stuck going to Terminal D. It made it over a lane, but even there, if you stay in that lane, you're going to get stuck going to Terminal D, because it becomes 2 lanes staying right to Terminal D. So you need to get over 2 lanes, but that's it. If you get over another lane and try to go faster around people, you're going to get stuck in the lane going to Terminal E. And if you go get in that lane, there's concrete barriers there that once you're in those lanes, that's it. You're done. You're going to have to go through there and then around the airport again to come back and try again. So that was critical. And I'm going to run a red light. They clearly ran a red light right there, that Lexus. It's just not worth it. I mean, of course, they're going to get hit, but it's just not worth it. Anyway, getting back to the airport. So it clearly knew the decision it was making, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, it's either 4 or 5 lanes. I believe it's 5 lanes, because I think there's 2 going to Terminal E as well. So there's a total of 5 lanes to choose from. And you have to select that middlemost lane and stay there for Terminal C. And it did it. And it had to get over 2 lanes to get to that middle lane, and then it stuck the landing and stayed there. and didn't just try to keep getting over to the left lane, like it would on a highway or city streets on the hurry mode. So it clearly knew it was making decisions and knew the right lane to get into. So that was excellent. But even then, once you're firmly and safely in the lane to go to Terminal C, then it branches off into a couple of more lanes. And if you stay in that lane, which will kind of go right, you're leaving the airport. You have to now get over right at the last second. There's a little fork there. You have to get over to the left to get up onto the Terminal C departures ramp. And it made the correct decision there as well. And then once you've made that right decision and you get on the Terminal C departure ramp, then there's 3 or 4 ways to go once you're up on the ramp. And it made the proper decision to go right, to stay right, because there are about 3 or 4 different paths once you get up to Terminal C departures ramp. And we needed to stay to the right, and we did that. We needed to be in the right 2 lanes. And so we stayed to the right. And then right there towards the end, it was deliberating between staying in the rightmost lane or the next to the rightmost lane. And you can be in those 2 most right lanes and drop people off. And it was getting around vehicles in front of it, letting people out, but staying put right there. And then it got around that dude, like leaving your truck door wide open with vehicles trying to get around you to drop passengers off. That is definitely an a-hole move, or just not cognizant of where you're at that time. But we had to get in between him, his big old self, and his truck door, and then a police officer standing in the middle of the road telling us to go that way. At the same time, the car not trying to take his door out. And FSD did a yeoman's job. So I rolled my window down, and I just wanted to let the police officer know what the car was doing. And he appreciated that. So that's always nice to get feedback from the police officer like that. And then pulled over to the side, dropped my wife out, gave her some niceties, and then we were on our way. So great job at the airport. That was a tremendous job at Terminal C, at the airport in general. No interventions other than obviously the last, like I said, 3 feet of just pulling all the way over. Because the thing is, they want you to, it'll meet that predestination. It met that predestination perfectly. But then they want you to get even further over to the side. So, yeah, you do what you got to do there. So, that's excellent. Love that. So, 0 interventions, 0 critical, 0 non-critical at the Houston airport once again. Yeah, you could definitely have done that as a robotaxi. And quite frankly, if you have Cybercabs and robotaxis, coming into a departure ramp to drop people off, they're not going to be required to, like, they're not going to request you to drive up on the curb a few feet to drop. You're just going to drop off. You're not because you're not going to be kissing the Cybercab bye-bye. You're not going to want to get a last-second hug from the Cybercab when you're getting dropped off at the airport. You're just going to get out and get on your way, so you don't need it to get over all the way over to onto the curb a few feet. So, yeah, that's some things to keep in mind on these. You know, I've started thinking about that as we're talking about parking functionality and the niceties of having that. And I started thinking about it, but if we're in a true Cybercab robotaxi world, like, some of this parking functionality that we want as we evolve further into FSD from our personal Teslas, is just going to be so irrelevant, right? It's just going to be irrelevant. You're not going to want it to park you first. So that's why I say I put a lot of that stuff on the, you know, honestly, I don't even count most of it, because I'm in this for the full autonomy. I want to, you know, ultimately see driverless Cybercabs transforming society. And we've talked about that in previous videos of, you know, how I think that full autonomous driverless Cybercab robotaxis proliferating will just, along with some other, there's going to be other companies out there, don't get it twisted. Tesla's clearly ahead, and they're clearly going to be the first to market for a generalized approach. When I say general, I know Waymo's out there, and all, you know, give my flowers to Waymo. They were the first to do it, really. But I'm talking about like a generalized approach where you can literally, like, you know, what I just did right there. Porter, Texas to the Houston Intercontinental Airport. We did that in a city where Waymo doesn't even exist. So, again, no shade on Waymo. I'm giving them their flowers. They're number one. So there'll be others. It's just, I'm talking about like how we can truly transform the landscape. So anyway, where I was going with that is, as part of that, people aren't going to be parking. You're not going to care about whether the Cybercab parks or not, because you're just going to hail it on your app and say, I need to go to the Houston Intercontinental Airport, or I need to go to HEB, and some people will ask, well, hey, if you're going to HEB, don't you want it to park and wait on you? It's like, no, you don't, because you're going to use it. You're going to use one of them. You're going to, just like Uber, you're going to hail a Cybercab robotaxi to go to HEB. You're going to do your shopping, however long you're there. Say you're there 20, 30 minutes. And when you're getting ready and done with your groceries, you're going to hail another Cybercab. So those Cybercabs are not going to be parking at the HEB or at the Intercontinental Airport when they're dropping you off, or any place else. They're not going to be parking. They're going to be dropping you off. So as anxious as I am for my personal Tesla, my personally owned Tesla, to be able to park me at certain places, I really don't count it in my autonomous testing when I'm doing these drives and filming these drives and downloading, and I'm uploading them on YouTube and X. I do not count the parking as part of whether there was a critical or non-critical intervention, because it's going to be completely irrelevant in the world we're trying to go to. So that's why I always say, I caveat by saying, yes, there were 0 critical interventions and 0 non-critical interventions. But then I also say, but I'll acknowledge there were 3 to 5 feet where I needed to manually pull over by the curb at a certain place. All right, now we got something interesting right here. But just to be done with it, oh, nice move. Got around to the left there. But I just wanted to mention that as well, that yes, you know, does it always park me at HEB? No. Does it always park me at my wife's family restaurant? No. But I also don't count those as non-critical interventions because they're going to be irrelevant. I don't want to count something against a system that 2 years from now, well, sooner than that actually, but yeah, this summer actually in Austin. But as it proliferates, as it expands throughout the country over the next 2 to 3 years, that's going to be completely irrelevant. So I don't want to grade it on something that I may not even want it to really spend a lot of time focusing on, right? Got a semi up here trying to move some, I don't know what, it's obviously steel-based products because that's what Postel does, but yeah, see, this is a tough spot here because you got ditches on both sides of the road. So it's just he's got a tough angle here. He'll make it though. Just got to keep working those angles. There you go. There you go. Now cut it back. There you go. Look at me telling a semi, probably a seasoned semi driver what to do with his tires. I think he might have it now. I think he may have it. Let's see. He should be good now, I think. There you go. Keep coming this way. Keep coming this way. Got it. Great job. Great job. Gave him a thumbs up because that was a good job. Stayed out of that ditch over there. Didn't take out that curb. And some of these semi drivers, I'm telling you, they are good. So I'm excited about Tesla Semi as well. And I don't know if y'all were able to see much of that in that video, but you're going to have to deal with stuff like that too. Obviously, FSD will be able to deal with that one day on the Semi. And who knows, maybe it can now, for all I know. But that was tough. And that was a seasoned Semi, because he did really good. Did not go into the ditch over here. And we're on a pretty narrow country road here. Didn't take out the curb. Great job. And didn't take out vehicles in front of him. So, kudos to him. All right, turning right into my neighborhood, getting off the country road and getting into my neighborhood here in Porter. Got a young lady with her puppy dog out for a little jog. I think the school zone is up. Yeah, it's 8:21, and yeah, the school zone ended at 7:30. So no worries right now. But just so, this is a tough school zone to test anything on. And we see how short the school zone is. I mean, literally, that three-way stop right there effectively stops you from going over 20 or 25 in that school zone. But I will say, as good as 13.2.8 is doing in school zones that have flashing lights. So I think I'm 100%. Now, granted, 100%, I think that's 2 times. So I'm 2 for 2 on school zones with 13.2.8. But those were school zones with flashing lights, so that helped. I have not gone through a school zone yet where it's like that, where it's just a sign. That's all there is. It's just a sign that says slow down at this specific time. And that was long enough where you could really test it, right? That's just not long enough. You're never going to know for sure there because you have that 3-way stop in front of the school, and the school zone is literally, 100 feet long. So, now we did have the snafu with the school bus on the 2-lane highway. That's just it's interesting. I've had a lot of great comments on YouTube about that. When I say great, I mean like really inquisitive comments on that, because I've gotten the comments have been like, man, I've never even seen that scenario before, where you're literally dropping kids off on a highway where people are going 70, 75 miles an hour. Because it's a 65 mile per hour highway. So in the state of Texas, most folks are going 70 to 75 through there. And it's funny, like, I've literally gotten no comments from anybody on YouTube that, oh my God, most of the comments are like, they're letting kids off on the highway like that in Texas? All right, let's see how. Is it going to try to park us, or is it going to just parallel? Well, it looks like it's going to take a stab at parking us, but maybe, let's see if it'll keep going here. That hump, and with my wife's car to the left, I think it's going to, let's see. Is it going to keep going and try? Let me just give it a second here. I don't think it's going to keep going. Can they get around us? Yep. They're good. It's continuing to try to, but yeah, I just don't think it's gonna. So let me go ahead and end that. All right. Oh. So yeah, did a great job at the airport. Took my wife all the way up to Terminal C departure ramp and dropped her off. So that was great. Zero interventions of any sort. And now we made it back home, and zero interventions of any sort getting back here as well. So that's awesome. All right, everybody. I hope you're having a great start to your weeks, having a great Monday morning. And I'll get this uploaded, or downloaded first and then uploaded. I love all of you, and I will talk to y'all again soon. Oh, and before I forget, it's Monday morning. Literally, we've got about 8 more hours. 8 hours until the launch of Starship IFT number 8. So let's go. Come on, SpaceX. We're all behind you. Man, proud to be an American, seeing what SpaceX is doing. Granted, it's an American company, but everybody around the world is just proud of everything you're doing. I mean, you are literally at the tip of the spear. If you're watching this video and you work at SpaceX, thank you so much. Y'all are literally at the tip of the spear in pushing forward humanity. You are the ones going outside the cave while we wait in the cave for you to come back and tell us what's out there. And so we thank you so much. Love all of you at SpaceX. Good luck today. Hope everything that's in your flight plan goes to accordance and we're successful. And yeah, just 110% behind you. Love all of y'all. And with that, I will say, bid all of y'all an adieu. Bye, everybody.